Good afternoon, Williamsburg County citizens, as well as members of Williamsburg County Council. Let me just start by saying good afternoon again, and we need to do a sound check. District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
District 2.
District 3,
Yeah.
District 4, District 5, District 6,
Here.
District 7. All right, if we all got a good sound check. Currently, media and marketing team, do we have anyone that is on Facebook or on the telephone lines at this time? If so, we need a sound check.
Okay. Excuse me, do we have anybody on the line at this time? Hello?
No one signed in.
No one has signed in.
All right. Please, media and marketing team, please check our Facebook feed to ensure that everyone can hear us.
Sound is good. We have, right now we have 22 people and the sound is good.
Great, awesome. We're gonna go ahead and get started. We have a very busy agenda this afternoon, and we're gonna go ahead and open up for public hearing to discuss the following ordinances, which is ordinance number 2020-11, an ordinance authorizing the implementation of the voluntary separation program for eligible county employees, and ordinance number 2020-12, an ordinance providing for the closure of portions of the Low Country and Guy Road in the county of Williamsburg County. Also, ordinance number 2020-13, an ordinance providing for the closure of a portion of Gator Road and a portion of Victory Drive in the county of Williamsburg, South Carolina. Also, ordinance number 2020-14, an ordinance providing for the closure of Coastline Road in the county of Williamsburg, state of South Carolina. Also, an ordinance number 2020-15, an ordinance providing for the closure of Page Road in Williamsburg County. Also, ordinance number 2020-16, an ordinance providing for the closure of sections of McMillan Road in the county of Williamsburg. And also ordinance number 2020-17, an ordinance providing for the closure of portions of Beelands Church Road in the county of Williamsburg. And finally, ordinance number 2020-18, an ordinance ordering a referendum to determine whether the South Carolina Department of Revenue may issue temporary permits to allow for the possession, sales, and consumption of alcohol liquor by drinking bona fide nonprofit organizations, business establishments authorized to be licensed for consumption on the premises and sales to allow for sales of beer and wine at a permitted off-premise location without regard to the days or hours of sale. At this time, again, as I have stated, each person will have an opportunity to voice their comments and concerns. Again, I ask that all citizens please direct your comments to me, the chair of council. Each person will have approximately 1 to 3 minutes to discuss any of the public comments or concerns. At this time, again, do we have anyone on the phone?
Yes, this is Andy McKnight. On the road closure, I'm not familiar with a lot of those roads. It has the county council in that district. How did they feel about the closure or keeping it open?
Councilman McKnight, all council members, from my understanding, have been made aware of the closures between the first and second reading of these ordinances that took place, obviously, when over the last few council meetings. So it is my understanding that everyone is aware.
Okay, I don't have a problem with it as long as the council in that district don't mind the road being closed. That's why
Yes,
I asked
sir.
the question.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me, Councilman McKnight?
Yes.
All right, this is Sam Floyd from District 6. The first two of those road closures, number 2020-12 and 2020-13, are in District 6, and I am in favor of those two. I can speak for those two, and I can't speak for the others, but that has my support.
Okay, because I saw them on there and I read them, but I didn't know who district they was in and how the councilman feel about it. So we need to find out how the councilman feel about it before we vote on it. Well, I have no problem with those two because you've spoken on them.
And it's the same for 2021-5. Coming out of District 2.
Okay. Solid made consensus on the other, so they have no problem, and I have no problem with it.
All right, do we have any other public comments associated with the ordinances that I have read? Do we have anyone that are attempting to type in a response?
We don't have anyone on the phone line itself. We do have a few people watching. We have 49 total, but no comments at this time.
Okay, Madam Clerk, do you have any questions that were submitted to you prior to this meeting regarding any of the ordinance that I just mentioned?
No, ma'am. No questions at this time.
We will allow about 30 more seconds because I do understand we have to allow people proper time to type in comments via Facebook feed and allow us the ability to receive that information. It is my belief that it is a 10-second delay between what someone types in as opposed to when we receive that information.
I have a comment on the web.
Okay.
Okay, we do have a couple of comments. Mr. Buddy Brown, I'm here and want to protest the closing of Old Bellins Road, Bellins Road.
Mm-hmm. Bellins Road, Bellins, I think it's Bellins, yes.
And also Miss Ida Rebecca Martin says, I agree. And Miss Good Time Vibes, Malona, which road is District 2?
Councilman Wilson.
You're muted. There you go.
District 2 is off of 261, and that is coming between Page Road and 261.
Between Cage Road, you said?
Page Road.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to type at the same time you're talking. Between Page Road and
261.
okay. Mr. Buddy also replied, I'm protesting the closing of Old Bellins Road. My grandparents are buried there. The road hasn't been maintained for years.
He said McMillan Road.
Bellins. Bellins.
Okay.
Not sure.
I can help with that. That's actually Old Blaine Church.
Oh, Blaine. Oh, okay. I'm crazy.
We are not closing the road to the church. The road closure starts at the back of the church property and extends over. The road going out to the Neesmith Highway is remaining open.
Okay, so the ordinance basically just clarified, ordinance provides for the closure of the portion of Bellins Church Road in the county of Williamsburg County. The Bellins Road closure will commence on the western property line of Linda Powell and westernly along Bellins Church Road to the property line of Black Mingo Baptist Church as shown in some of the exhibits that were issued over the first and the second reading of this ordinance. Any other comments? We'll give the 10-second. Media and marketing. Do you see any more comments? You're muted.
Mr. Buddy Brown wanted noted that it was blocked earlier by a pile of dirt in the middle of the road.
Okay,
He spoke with Mr. Lee concerning that matter.
okay.
And Ms. Ida Martin is asking, can you close a cemetery off from access?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Jerry Taylor says keep it open.
Okay. Any other comments at this time?
We have 67 viewers, so
Okay. Any other comments?
no, ma'am.
Hearing none. The commencement of, or the ending of our public hearing going once, going twice. We are now closing public hearing. We're going to go ahead and call to order the regularly scheduled council meeting for August 3rd, 2020 at 2 p.m. An invocation will be delivered by Jeff Singleton.
Let us assume an attitude of prayer. Gracious and eternal God, our Father, maker of every good and perfect gift, and in whose hands all our lives dwell. We pause now, Lord, to thank you for waking us up this morning and starting us on our way. We thank you for the ability to assemble. While assembled, Lord, we invoke your presence, that the things we say and do will be well-pleasing in your sight and for the benefit of the citizens. Guide our hearts, our minds, our thoughts. It is in the precious name of Jesus that I pray this prayer and ask it all in your name. And everyone listening and all assembled said, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Our next order of business is approval of the minutes regularly scheduled council meeting that was conducted July 21st, 2020. We need a motion for approval of the minutes.
So move, Madam Supervisor, District 2.
Second, District 3.
Thank you. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval of the minutes, please signify by roll by stating aye or nay. District 1,
Aye.
District 2,
Aye.
District 3,
Aye.
District 4, District 5,
Aye.
District 6,
Aye.
District 7. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. The next order of business is ordinance number 2020, third reading of ordinance number 2020-11. An ordinance authorizing the implementation of the voluntary separation program for eligible county employees. We need a motion for third reading.
So moved, District 3.
Do we have a second?
District 2.
It has been properly moved in second of third reading of ordinance number 2020-11. Any discussion? All those in favor of approval, all those in favor or all those in favor of third reading of ordinance number 2020-11 by roll, please signify by saying aye. Opposers, nay. District 1,
Aye.
District 2,
Aye.
District 3,
Aye.
District 4, District 5,
Aye.
District 6,
Aye.
District 7. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. third reading of ordinance number 2020-12, which is an ordinance to provide for the closures of portions of Low Country and Guy Road in the county of Williamsburg. Do we have a motion for third reading?
Motion to approve third reading of ordinance 2020-12 from District 6.
Do we have a second?
Second, District
Second.
3.
It has been moved, properly moved in second for approval of third reading of ordinance 2020-12. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of approval of third reading of ordinance number 2020-12, please signify by roll, either aye or nay. District 1.
Aye.
District 2. District 3.
Aye.
District 4.
Aye.
District
Sorry.
5.
Sorry. District 5, aye.
District 6.
Aye.
District 7. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. We have the next on our order of, on our agenda is reading of ordinance number 2020-13. We need a motion for third reading, approval of third reading.
Motion for approval of third reading from District 6.
Do we have a second?
Second,
Second,
District 3.
Second, District 3. You copy that, Madam Clerk?
Yes, ma'am.
It has been moved in second of third reading of approval of third reading of ordinance number 2020-13. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of approval of third reading for ordinance number 2020-13, please signify by either aye or nay. District 1.
Aye.
District 2. District 3.
Aye.
District 4. District 5.
Aye.
District 6.
Aye.
District 7. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Next order of business is the third reading of ordinance number 2020-14, providing for the closure of Coastline Road in the county of Williamsburg. We need a motion for approval of third reading. I say again, do we have a motion for third reading?
Madam Supervisor, what district is that in? Do you know?
Mr. Billy, I don't have that written down. Mr. Billy, what district is that?
That is, I believe that's in Councilman. That's Councilman Miller's district, I believe.
Who?
One going into Lanes, right before you get into Lanes, it is a road. You coming from Cooper's Country Store, coming there, it's a road off to the right that crosses Thorntree Swamp and goes. Got a bridge on it. The county bridge is in district.
You know, we've been to 2 readings and that was never said that was in District 3. Are you saying District 3?
That's
I can't understand. We're breaking up.
that was my understanding. That this is the road going into Lanes from King Street. I think it's 341.
If I'm not mistaken, Madam Clerk, you did issue all the maps to these locations. I think we had all the parcels that were identifying these areas of closure.
On each ordinance, yes.
Madam Super, I think that,
Yes, sir.
I think when we was at about the first reading, we were asked that if we would, if any of these, wherever these road closure was in whoever district, that they would let the councilman know. And I was never told about this being in District 3, if this is in District 3.
If it was,
Mr. Billy, you are, we can't hear you at all. See you just fine. We just can't hear you.
hear me now?
Try that.
Is any better?
Yes.
It's either Councilman Woods. If you're going south, it would be on the eastern side of the CSX Railroad.
Mhm.
Whose district is Lanes located?
I think that.
I have a part of
Portion of
District
it.
of Lanes, and my understanding when we was reading this, I think Councilman, it was said it was in Councilman Wood District, and his statement then was he was not aware of it, and his last statement was that if no one said anything about it, he didn't mind it, but he didn't get. He said he went out to some road and checked, and no one responded. But we thought it was in his district.
Because he also was on that them road. And I know he went and talked to the people there because he called me and said there's no problem with that road.
Yeah, it was one of those roads, and I thought that was the road we was talking about.
Well, if need be, we can wait, have third reading now that we've had the public.
No problem. Moving on to next order of business, which is, make sure I'm in order.
2015.
Thank you. These little pieces of paper over. Next reading, we have third reading for ordinance 2020-15, an ordinance providing for the closure of Page Road in the county of Williamsburg. This time we need a motion for approval of third reading.
This is in
This is in Councilman Wilson's district.
Councilman Wilson.
Councilman Wilson's district.
This is the road that went through Mr. McCleary's farm, and it had so much trash, and he brought pictures to the meeting.
This was Councilman Wilson's district, is that correct?
Yes.
Is he on the line, or have we lost him?
I don't see him. Marketing media team, is he still on the line? I don't see him on here.
It's dropped off. Like,
Councilman Woods is on the line, but I don't have any picture.
Okay.
Well, Councilman Wilson stated earlier in the meeting that he was in favor of the road closure in his district, so I was asking, we could probably go ahead and do that.
Okay.
If we've lost him now, if he's on the line, I'd like for him to make.
I just got off the phone with Councilman Wilson. I think he is in favor of approving ordinance 2020-16.
Then I would offer up a motion for approval of third reading. If you've spoken to Councilman Wilson, he's in favor of it. It's in his district. This is District 6.
Okay. Do we have a second?
Second, District 3.
It's been properly moved and seconded for third reading and approval of ordinance number 2020-15. Do we have any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of approval of ordinance number 2020-15, please signify by saying aye or nay. District 1.
Aye.
District 2. District 3.
Aye.
District 4.
Aye.
District 5.
Aye.
District 6.
Aye.
District 7. All right, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Next order of business is ordinance number 2020-16, Do we have ordinance dash 2016 ordinance provided for the closure of sections of McMillan Road in the county of Williamsburg County? We need a motion for approval of third reading. We have a motion for third reading.
Okay.
Okay, hearing none.
Motion to third read. District 4.
Okay, do we have a second?
Again, Madam Supervisor, my same question is, do we know whose district this is in?
Hey, which one is this?
Woods.
That's, yeah. That is in Woods District, and he has no objection.
Councilman Woods District. Councilman Woods, can you hear us?
Yes, I hear you. I just can't see anything. Can y'all see me?
We can hear you.
Okay.
Did you make the motion for approval of
Yes,
third?
I made the motion for third reading. Those roads were in my district, weren't they?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Billy, those were in my district.
Second from District 5.
It's been properly moved and second for approval of third reading of ordinance number 2020-16. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of approval of ordinance number 2020-16, please signify by saying aye, and opposers nay. Roll call. District 1.
Aye.
District 2. District 3.
Aye.
District 4.
Aye.
District 5.
Aye.
District 6.
Aye.
District 7. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Next order of business is the third reading of ordinance number 2020-17, an ordinance providing for the closure of a portion of Belen's Church Road in the county of Williamsburg, South Carolina. We need a motion for approval of third reading.
District 1, so moved, Madam Chair.
Do we have a second?
Second. District 6.
It has been properly moved and second for approval of third reading of ordinance number 2020-17. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of approval of third reading of ordinance number 2020-17, please signify by roll call by saying aye or nay. District 1.
Aye.
District 2.
Aye.
District 3.
Aye.
District 4.
District 4. Aye.
District 5.
Aye.
District 6.
Aye.
District 7. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Third reading of ordinance number 2020-18. It's an ordinance ordering a referendum to determine whether the South Carolina Department of Revenue may issue a temporary permit to allow for the possession, sales, and consumption of alcoholic liquor by the director of a bona fide nonprofit organization and business establishments authorized to be licensed for consumption on premise sales, and to allow the sales of beer and wine at permitted off-premises locations without regards of the days or hours of week. Time I ask for the county attorney to step in.
Yes. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I see a memorandum of July 30th, which is cover right now. I want to know, since the first two readings, I have rewritten this ordinance with a number of things in it. To verify that it is correct, I sent it to the alcohol sales, and they have to approve the language in the ordinance, and they have to approve. I also submitted it to here. approve. Clear, by adopting, you are Sunday alcohol sales. What you're voting on is allow voters of Williamsburg County to determine whether or not they want alcoholic beverages, beer and wine sold on Sunday. Now, what are you voting on? Item A in it, which is in the ballot that you have, that's under item number 1, the first question. First question to be voted on would allow not-for-profit organizations to sell liquor by the drink, beer and wine on Sunday. Now, that like some private types of private clubs that have a 501c3 or similar organization. And they have a license to do it Monday through. It's just what they do during the week to occur on Sunday. Now, the second part of it would allow sale of alcoholic liquors, beer and wine on Sunday in locations that are licensed to do it already. In other words, you got to have a week license. This is would allow it in any, for example, a restaurant may continue to serve alcohol, or locations that are properly licensed to have Sunday sales in accordance with law. So that is item A allows. Now, what I'd like to do is turn your attention to item B. B allows to be placed on the sale of beer, wine, stores such as supermarkets, convenience stores, and other licensed locations in the county. Vote yes on one and no on the other, no twice, or yes twice. And that is the way the referendum would be conducted. Are there any questions?
Yeah, I got one, Mr. Billy. Like with grocery stores, does it apply to the grocery stores in the town of Kingstree, or it just applies to ones outside of the town limit?
Only outside, and no incorporated areas of Kingstree.
Okay.
So what you say, if this referendum is passed, the city of Kingstree will still be able to sell it?
The town of Kingstree would have to have their the referendum put on the ballot for the town.
Okay.
Billy, question. Can you hear me, Billy?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Billy, there will be two separate items, two different components of that law, right? I could hardly hear because there was so much static going on my phone. I think you said one had reference to establishments such as restaurants, and that would be one item, and then another component of that bill or law, whatever, would be convenience stores, grocery stores, etc., right?
That would be for beer and wine.
Right. Okay, but convenience stores and grocery stores would be one of the components of it.
Correct. You could vote yes on grocery stores and no on the person, or that would be
Okay. I can't hear Billy, but I think I understand what you're saying, but there's so much static I can't hear. But I think I'm in agreement with that, I believe. Can't.
Okay, so hopefully I'm trying to translate properly in terms of what Mr. Billy is saying. I believe he stated that there's going to be two questions on the ballot. As I've looked into the Department of Revenue in terms of what this could generate for us, if it's someone selling it in a store or in a restaurant of some sort, or those that are applying for any of the license, we will get the revenue from that particular license if they're selling some form of liquor. So there are many other areas that are out in the county that do have the ability now, if this is passed by referendum by the citizens, to be able to generate additional revenue, not only for themselves, but also for the county. Also, for future business endeavors, if someone wants to come to the county and build a building, at least that is one of the items that we can use as a tool to help us generate new business within the county.
Okay.
Amen.
And there are several organizations or several counties that have this. Williamsburg County obviously is not the only one. And I would be happy to go over a list of places if you want me to do that are selling on doing Sunday sales or any day sale. If you want, I
Doesn't it
can run through
increase
that list.
beer wine license? Doesn't it? Doesn't
Sunday
it-
beer,
license
wine, and
goes-
alcoholic beverages. Jurisdiction with the local option for Sunday beer, wine, and alcoholic beverage sale include Allendale, Anderson, Beaufort, Berkeley, Calhoun, Charleston, Chester, Clarendon, Colleton, Darlington, Dorchester, Edgefield, Fairfield, Florence, Georgetown, Greenville, Greenwood, Horry, Jasper, Kershaw, Lancaster. Pretty much you get the point. Williamsburg County is one of the few who has not yet put that on a referendum.
Okay. I'm good. I think I understand what it's saying now. I just had a question about whether the existing establishments that had beer and a wine license already in hand, they will just be authorized, they'll be allowed to sell make Sunday sales with the alcohol as it relates to wine and beer license. They will need a separate license.
Mhm.
Would they would?
Yes, sir, they will.
Okay.
And that's due the Department
Yeah,
of
It's my understanding, Councilman, this is Sam, District 6. That license to the state increases from $500 to $3,000 to be able to sell beer and wine in a store on Sunday. It goes up to $3,000.
Okay, that's good. Very good. Good. Okay, good. Okay. All right. That answers my question.
Okay, do we have a motion for third reading, approval of third reading of ordinance 2020-18?
So moved. District 3.
District 4, second.
It has been properly moved in second for third reading or approval of third reading of ordinance 2020-18. Do we have any additional discussion? Hearing. Who's second?
Yes.
I know Mr. Miller, he made the motion. I don't know, was that Councilman Woods?
District 4, Councilor Woods, second.
Okay. Okay, so all those in favor of approval of third reading of ordinance number 2020-18 by roll, please signify by saying aye or nay. District 1?
Aye.
District 2?
Aye.
District 3?
Aye.
District 4?
Aye.
District 5?
Aye.
District 6?
Aye.
District 7? The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. The next order of business is second reading of ordinance number 2020-19, which is an ordinance authorizing the sale of two parcels, tax map numbers 08-015-159 and 08-015-160, which is owned by Williamsburg County. The property is located at 301 North Main Street in Hemingway, South Carolina. It is formerly known as the Lighthouse Rehab Center, to include the two lots with the buildings and improvement located thereon in accordance with the terms and conditions. For more explanation, we have our Economic Development Executive Director on the phone right now that can give a little bit more information to those who may need it. Gillian? Is he still on the phone?
Yeah, he's still on.
Yes, I'm on. I'm trying to get out of a room where my son is. Were there questions on the?
Yeah, I would just need you there, stand by just in case during the discussion period, if any of our council members have a question, that you're there to be able to provide them with an answer. So we need at this time a motion for second reading of ordinance number 2020-19.
District 4, motion for second reading.
Do we have a second?
District 3, second.
It has been moved and properly second for approval of second reading of ordinance 2020-19. Do we have any discussion at this time? Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of second reading of ordinance number 2020-19, excuse me, please signify by roll by stating aye or nay. District 1?
Aye.
District 2?
Aye.
District 3?
Aye.
District 4?
Aye.
District 5?
Aye.
District 6?
Aye.
District 7? The ayes have it. It is so adopted. Sorry. Our next order of business is the resolution number 2020-12, which is a resolution authorizing a memorandum of agreement by and between Williamsburg County and the Williamsburg County Historical Society. Mr. Jenkinson, please provide the council with some clarity in reference to this resolution.
First, let me say, this is where conflict. I'm also secretary of the Williamsburg County Historical Society. So what we're doing is what in fact you've already been engaged. The grant requirements wanted this particular memorandum, and what this memorandum relates to is a parks, recreation, and tourism grant. I'm gonna round it off and say $200,000 to Williamsburg County. The purpose of the grant was to allow a match grant of another $200,000 to be provided by the Historical Society to match the PRT grant to provide $400,000 for the renovation of the museum annex, which is to house the African-American portion of our museum, and also one involving telephone and Santee Electric, which original corporate offices were located in the building. There will be other things, but those will be the principal displays in it, with a lot of emphasis on African-American culture and history in our county. The Historical Society has raised the necessary $200,000, and the grant money is coming in. And what this amounts to is Williamsburg County is merely a pass-through. Now, the building in question is not even owned by the Historical Society. It is owned by the town of Kingstree and leased to the Historical Society, but the town of Kingstree is not putting any money up. The only money out of it comes from the Historical Society. The county is just merely acting and consenting to a pass-through grant for this specific purpose. Question. I might add, most of the work is already completed. It's about 90% finished at this time.
Any question, members of council?
Attorney Jenkins, did you say someone else will be occupying that building?
Somebody go right now.
Will anyone else be occupying that building except the Historic Society?
No, that is the sole purpose of the building is for the Historical Society. And it will also accommodate public. It will have seating room. It will be to accommodate meetings there as well. I'm
Thank you.
sure have a county council meeting, they'd be glad to have.
So again, we need a motion for approval of the web resolution from members of council. Do we have a motion of approval of resolution number 2020-12?
Madam Chairman, I make a motion that we pass this resolution.
Second, District 3.
Any discussion? All right, it's been properly moved and seconded. Any discussion at this time? Hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by roll by stating aye or nay. District 1,
Aye.
District 2. I think I heard him say aye.
Yes.
District 3,
Aye.
District 4,
Aye.
District 5,
Aye.
District 6, District 7. Okay, hearing the motion is adopted. Our next, the ayes have it, the motion is adopted. Our next order of business is the update under the supervisor's report, the update concerning COVID-19. Basically, we've been trying to keep up with all the paperwork. We'll be submitting our due date to submit any FEMA reimbursements, at least for what I consider the first quarter, which is from March 18th up until July 18th. Is due on the 8th of August. So I'm pulling together all of that paperwork, including all of the payroll data, receipts, etc., so that we can put in for our first part of our reimbursement for that. So I'm hoping to hear something back. They're pretty fast now at trying to turn things around relatively quickly. However, it's best that we do it in quarters, because if for whatever reason we no longer are under a state of emergency, then everybody in the country is going to be trying to get their paperwork in at one time. So at least with us, we're trying to get it in on a quarterly basis. And, again, I stated when the dates from the beginning of the incident up to July 18th. So we are working diligently to get all this paperwork submitted. Also, as of today, our cases we have 939 reported cases to date. Just for today only, we have 21 cases today. It has been a very busy weekend for COVID reporting as far as those who have contracted the virus. So we're hoping again that our citizens continue to practice social distancing, continue to put your masks on. Those things has been proven to be effective in combating our COVID pandemic. So we're asking citizens, we're asking our council members to please encourage your constituents to please protect themselves and their families. We are continuing to monitor this situation and to keep down on our crowd control, as well as other things that the county and our law enforcement divisions are doing to help with preventing the spread of this. Also, we are all bracing for any of the effects of, I'm gonna butcher this name, Izzy's, right?
That's good. That's good.
Isaias is what it is. That's the proper term. Isaias. So I really think that the national weather probably never thought that they'd have to continue to pronounce this, but apparently we all are having to struggle with this named storm right now. So citizens, again, we're asking you to remain vigilant, and please make sure that you do have an emergency plan in place in the event that we do experience a significant change in the weather that may cause you to have to take some protective actions to protect yourselves and or your families. We are still, again, there at this time, according to the Emergency Management Division, there are no shelters open or anything like that. We're just asking our citizens to please, again, just be vigilant and ensure that you have your own safety plan in place. Look for an area in your home in the event that there is a tornado warning that you can get to safely. So that's any other questions. As you all know, that a statement went out sometime last week in reference to our county employees will not have to receive the reduction in salaries. Some solutions were brought up, and they are workable solutions that we are pursuing, and we will be successful in obtaining them. So I'm very proud of all of the county employees who have participated in trying to bring this together so that we all can, so that everyone can maintain their way of life. Do you have any other questions regarding any of the information, members of council, that I've discussed?
Madam Supervisor, in terms of businesses that are not wearing masks, what's the protocol with those businesses?
You said that, I'm sorry, the beginning of it. I heard something about not wearing masks.
Any businesses not wearing masks within those businesses?
Well, that is going to be up for, I mean, we've asked them to do that, but they can also be fined for not, as long, if they don't follow the county's ordinance, they can also be fined, as well as the governor has issued some new requirements as well. And in that case, that would be up to our law enforcement division to ensure that our law enforcement agency, to ensure that they are in compliance.
Madam Supervisor, District 3, what's the upgrade on the any new park recreation so far as opening to any gathering or the size of gathering? Have the governor changed that stance within the last 48 hours, 72 hours?
Basically, those things, they kind of left them open for, even in the beginning, they were left open for recreational purposes, i.e. getting out, walking tracks, et cetera, et cetera. It is not my belief at this point, we do not have the financial, in Williamsburg County, we do not have the finances at this point to make those areas safer or safe. There needs to be signage, there needs to be areas in which people can wash their hands and sanitize their hands and things like that. We just don't have the ability at this time to do that at our parks and recreation facilities. But for the most part, if people want to take a walk on the walking tracks, they are doing that from what I'm understanding. It's just that right now we're not authorizing any large gatherings at all in any of our facilities.
When we said large gathering, I think one time there was a number. Is there still a number? 30?
As far as Williamsburg County, we are not authorizing any large gatherings because we would be completely responsible for the actions that are done on county property.
Exactly.
And if we do not have the proper, the ability to protect our citizens in terms of putting stations up for sanitizing and ensuring that the bathrooms and things like that are cleaned and sanitized, then we're going to run the risk of us getting ourselves into a liability situation.
So with this COVID, are we still under liability situation? Let's say those basketball areas are open and gatherings are out there having meetings and stuff under the pavilions and stuff like that. Are we liable for those things?
They should not be hosting anything in reference to any gatherings of any nature. And no, they should not be playing basketball. Those are considered close contact sports.
Okay.
Madam Supervisor.
Yes.
Yes, Madam Supervisor, in reference to the deficiencies that was identified at the Salters voting poll, has anything been done in regard to that yet, or there's any other new information that has surfaced in regard to that?
No, we are at a standstill. Councilman Miller talked to me about that sometime prior to beginning of the year. He asked about that. We were awaiting some information from the election commission to see if they could help with the funding to do that. That's going to cost us some money to go ahead and retrofit that out so that it can be properly used for voting purposes. I mean, we still have some time to get it squared away with them. Again, with everything happening, that's just something that kind of went by the wayside. So that is definitely something that we'll pick back up on. I will, again, reach out to our buildings and grounds director and speak to him about where we are in reference to that.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any other questions? Also, Council, I just need to remind you that the census deadlines are coming up real close, and you know how important that is to Williamsburg County. So we really need you to see if you can get your constituents out there to ensure that people safely, ensure that people are have the ability to get counted. It's important. I know they're going around, they're trying to do a big blitz and a big push for that, but it is so important. Williamsburg County is really only reporting at about 50% right now. And that is, that's mortifying considering I know we didn't lose 50% of our population. Then again, maybe we did, but we're only getting reports of about 50% of those who have reported on the for the census count. So please encourage your constituents as much as you can. Any other question for the good of the order? Hearing none, we need a motion for adjournment.
So move.
And a second.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of adjournment, please signify by saying aye or nay. District 1,
Aye.
District 2, District 3,
Aye.
District 4.
Aye. Aye.
Thank you. District 5,
Aye.
District 6,
Aye.
District 7. The ayes have it. The motion is adopted. We are adjourned. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Williamsburg County citizens, for joining us this afternoon.
Thanks, everybody.